Summer bought a bunch of different oils in bulk. These are the oils she mixes together using her own recipe to make a final product. But the purchased oils are raw materials. She won't resell them. All of the products a company sells or can convert into something it sells are its inventory. Inventory can be an item the business purchased and is reselling, raw materials, or finished goods. Finished goods generally start as raw materials, then move to work in process, then move to finished goods. But Summer and Sophia don't have much manufacturing going on. They really only have the raw materials and finished goods to keep track of, because, let's face it, the process to make the final product is pretty simple. Let's hear from an expert on what this looks like when there is a work-in-process component, usually in a manufacturing setting.
An overview of raw materials, work in progress, and finished goods in a manufacturing setting. So if a client company has inventory on their balance sheet and they're tracking it and they do manufacturing, they probably are not using QuickBooks by itself, because QuickBooks Online is not meant for an inventory assembly or manufacturing process. So, but if they need to track, or if they're doing it manually, they could be tracking inventory manually or in Excel and then just entering summary transactions in QuickBooks. That could happen as well. Just know that if you have your raw materials widgets and they want to keep track of raw materials different from work in progress, which is different from the finished goods, then you are going to have to be very careful to make entries quite often, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly, to move inventory items along and move them from their finished goods account. You might have to do inventory adjustments to take them out of out of raw materials, and then make another, and another part of that same entry is to add work in progress inventory to the work in progress, or add numbers or figures to the work in progress inventory on the balance sheet. And then as that gets worked on, maybe later on there's going to have to be another inventory adjustment to move numbers out of the work in progress inventory or work in process inventory, and add products or services and numbers of those or products to the finished goods area. So it's going to require a lot of meticulous record keeping, even in QuickBooks, because if the client wants to know how much raw materials, how much work in process, how much finished goods they have, you're going to have to make those entries, probably inventory adjustments, to move items from one phase of the raw phase to the work in process phase to the finished goods phase.